Hey loving soul. Listen, if your festive feelings are sprinkled with a little sadness that you are single, well, this is for you. Although you're surrounded by friends and family, it's easy to wonder when it will be your turn to have a loving partner, and maybe even a little family of your own. You might be smiling and telling everyone you're great, but when you are by yourself, maybe you find your mind ruminating on how everyone else is tucked up next to someone they love while your bed feels lonely and a little bit hopeless. I'm sending you hugs, girl. I've been there too, and while those images in your mind seem real, I'm here to tell you that they are actually just thoughts and no more real than the pink elephant doing ballet in the fountains of the Bellagio Hotel that's in your head instead right now. So grab some eggnog and a gingerbread to nibble and let's get stuck into some far more fun actual truths that will raise your vibration and serve you in a much better way. Let's get stuck in. If you're done with spending your precious time and energy on partners who bring you heartbreak, anxiety and stress, and you want a way out of the constant wondering why you aren't meeting the right partner, you are in the right place. Hi, I'm Remy, clinical hypnotherapist, EFT facilitator, NLP master practitioner, and your dedicated love upgrade coach. I went from being a codependent, anxious serial dater and marrier of the wrong men to being happily married with the warm, loving family household I could only dream of. I'm here to give you the blueprint you've been missing to understand and transform your blocks and limiting beliefs, connect with your inner wisdom, understand the power of energetics and my mastery, all so you can confidently attract the healthy, loving relationship you've always wanted and truly deserve. Let's expand your belief of what's possible for you. You deserve unshakable self-confidence and a relationship that feels right on every level, and it's your turn to attract it all. It's time to upgrade your subconscious and start some real life magic happening. So nestle on in and let's get to it. There's something about this time of year that can be really triggering. Maybe it's the Christmas love songs, or maybe memories of past Christmases, or hopes for the new year. It can feel a little overwhelming sometimes, especially when we're not even sure what or how to change to improve the status of our love life. I know that I went through a very low period of finding New Year's Eve such a depressing anticlimax that I actually chose to stay in by myself and just ignore its existence. I was in one of those no man's land places with the guy I was seeing, and I was feeling anxious about how he felt, and I felt really stuck, lost and alone. I remember that he was on a holiday with his friends, and I just couldn't stop thinking about what he was up to and wondering why I just couldn't seem to get him to commit. At the time, I didn't know what a healthy relationship looked like and what was available to me, and I definitely had no idea how to attract it. I was completely oblivious to energetics and the power of resonant attraction. I just thought he was the one, and I thought that finding another guy as good as him would be impossible, and I felt lucky that he fancied me. I wasn't even sure that I deserved him. After all, I wasn't from a family who had their shit together, really. My parents were divorced, and we were struggling financially at the time. I didn't have a solid career, and I was swamped with anxiety, and I really had no idea what I had to even offer someone. So anyway, I know how you're feeling. I've been rock bottom, and it really sucks, especially at Christmas. So first and foremost, I want to clarify how important it is to feel your feelings and listen to your emotions. None of this spiritual bypassing stuff. That's not what we're about. I really want you to gather all the knowledge that this amazing inbuilt navigation system we have are telling you, and really listen well. This system tells us our feelings and our emotions. They let us know when we've wandered off the path of alignment, and it tells us that we're not living in truth. Just as a side note, while listening to our negative emotions and feelings are incredibly important, remember they are not a predictor of our future, and they certainly don't say anything about us at all, or what's possible for us, or how valuable you are, or our worth, or anything like that at all. They are simply a signal that we are not living in alignment and we need to just tweak a few things. Tweak the way we're seeing our map of the world, because there's something askew, or we're not living in a way that is best serving us. Okay, so once you have listened in and paid attention to your feelings and emotions, try and backtrack to the thought that caused you to feel them. And then once you've identified that thought and you know what's causing your suffering, you can then go ahead and reach for a much better feeling thought instead. It's actually our responsibility to realize that we are able to change our state and elevate our state so that we are living in a higher energetic that attracts more of what we do want into our life. Just wishing and hoping for it isn't enough. Remember, we get what we are, not what we want. And if you're not sure whether it's possible to even change your frequency or change your state, the good news I have for you is that it totally is. It's the difference between living in an auto program that's making you feel really shitty versus being consciously aware and living with accountability and responsibility for how we are feeling. That is having control over our own minds, and that, loving soul, is freedom. It's a bit like you are a radio that can tune into different stations. If you leave it on static or a frequency playing a song that you don't like, you'll just keep hearing noise or the same old crappy tune. But you hold the power to adjust the dial. Just tweak it up. And by consciously choosing to tune into a higher frequency, the station that uplifts and inspires you, you align yourself with the energy you desire to attract. Just wishing for a different song won't change the channel. It's your intentional action and awareness that shifts the frequency. You might look around you and think that all this is a load of rubbish and not possible because you know people who have sat in a state of anxiety and depression and low energy for most of their lives. But that is not the right way to be at all, and it's not necessary to put yourself through that suffering. You can reframe even the most awful traumas. I mean, if we take it to the extreme, let's think back to the Holocaust survivors who, they went through some awful atrocities. They had terrible things done to them. Their whole families were killed in front of them and they lost absolutely everything. But they still managed to find purpose and joy in their life going forward. Instead of getting lost in sorrow and regret and sadness for all the horrors that had happened to them, they instead took it upon themselves to experience life in the most rich way possible, as if it was their responsibility to make the most of the second chance that they had been given, to make up for all the lives that were robbed of this experience. They chose to not let the darkness of the perpetrators win out and nurtured their own light instead so they could shine it as far and as bright as possible. And this elevated mindset, aligned with love and gratitude and beauty of living, is the key to a happy life. It better serves you and elevates your energetic point of attraction, which will in turn give you the life you truly deserve. You have the power to cultivate what you really want in life. You really do. Your true desires that are in alignment with your highest and best wishes for your life can all be yours. It's just a matter of living in that frequency so you're attracting them all into you. So that brings us to the first of the actionable steps that will change your magnetic resonance this holiday season. Number 1, remember the nature of reality and the importance of your energetic state. And that means checking in with how you are feeling often, every day, many times in one day actually, and be consciously aware of trending in the direction of feeling good. The universe is abundant and so are you, but we do get limited by what we believe is possible for us. So take a look at how you were thinking about finding a relationship. If it feels impossible and like decent partners are few and far between, and even if they were out there, it doesn't even matter because you believe that the likelihood of them being attracted to you is like 0 to none, well, that's not a resonant energetic match for what you want. You need to tweak up your magnetic dial because these thoughts are low vibe and it's only going to drag you down and keep what you actually want out of your reach. Actionable step number 2 is change your perspective from problem thinking to solution thinking. Now, what this means is thinking of the situation from the energy of the solution, not the problem. hold up, because I know that you're probably thinking, what the hell is she going on about? How can you think about a problem from the viewpoint of the solution when you are stuck in not knowing the solution yet? Bear with me, because by this, what I mean is, instead of dwelling on where you're at, instead imagine the future you that's already thought of the solution, and then enjoy that feeling, in this case, of the relationship that you want. So just enjoy what that might feel like. You might not be able to see the characteristics or on the minutiae, all the details of your exact partner, but you will have an inkling of how it will make you feel. We all know what it is that we are striving for, that we're craving, this feeling that we want to feel. It's amazing, our human ability to have this way of knowing how we will feel when something we desire manifests into our reality. It's not irrelevant. It's not nothing. It's not like a nice to have. It is really pivotal. It's like everything in our universe. It really does have a purpose. It is a tool, in fact, that turbocharges our ability to bring our desires into material reality. When you've got this feeling inside, you can then feel excited that it's coming and trust that it's coming without allowing your ego to chime in with any doubt that it's possible. Don't even listen to that ego say all those negative words to you. Just like when you order a coffee and you expect your order to arrive just as you want it, and then you smile at the barista and voila, they give you 2 cookies just because of your good energy. But you get what you want and you don't worry about it. You know what's coming. You know how you want to feel when you get that coffee and it arrives. It's the same sort of thing. You know how you want to feel when that relationship comes. You know that you want to wake up in the morning next to somebody who brings you joy. You look forward to the day together. There's no drama. Instead, it's just sort of blossoming and growing together and dancing through life in this joyful, connected, but not too intertwined that you're propping each other up. You know, you're both individuals in your own right in an interdependent relationship, not a codependent relationship. And it's going to make you feel energetic and fill your cup, not drain you and give you anxiety and stress and any of those negative emotions. Actionable tip number 3 is to make the very most of where you are at right now. There is nothing lonelier than being stuck in an unhealthy, toxic relationship that isn't serving you. That feeling of being with somebody who you know in your heart of hearts isn't for you, and having to be sucked into that drama and anxiety, and then planning your sort of, your way out of this relationship and having to navigate that whole schmozzle, completely doable. And if that's where you're at, then I'm sending you love, because while I fully believe that every failed relationship is a stepping stone rich with wisdom and learning that will help you to craft the path to your highest and best relationship that's truly going to serve you, nevertheless, it is a journey and it can have its challenges when you're leaving somebody. So if you're not in that situation and you are free as a bird and unencumbered, then this is a wonderful position to be in. You answer to nobody other than yourself. You can be excited that for the moment, because it's not going to last forever, you get to do whatever you want without having to consider anyone else's needs. And I promise you, it's not going to be the case forever. So make the most of it. Really think, what would make you happy? What's going to bring you joy right now? What curiosities are you harboring inside that you haven't taken action on yet for some reason, but they're there nonetheless, like breadcrumbs from your inner wisdom? Just anything that feels fun, anything you've ever thought of doing, no matter which realm in it, like which cup it's filling in your life, whether it's looking after yourself in terms of health and fitness, whether it's pursuing a new hobby or an interest, dancing, a new sport. Maybe it might be booking travel. You might have a place in mind that you've always wanted to visit, or a trip you've always wanted to do, a theatre production you've always wanted to see. Maybe you feel like you wanted to go into musical theatre or start singing, or there's just so many options available. So anything that takes your interest, just give it a go. Even if you think you're going to be utterly terrible at it, go for it. You have no idea why you have these inklings, but let me tell you, you have them all for a reason. And when you follow them, when you follow the breadcrumbs, it's the way the universe, God, source, whatever you want to call this higher power, it's the way they whisper to you. It's not here for nothing. Who knows what we are connected to, but we're for sure connected to something. There's something going on that's way above our pay grade to know. I don't know where this wisdom comes from, but it comes from somewhere. And when you embrace it and really start listening to your truth, it really allows magic to unfold. Okay, so that was number 3, make the very most of where you're at. Number 4 is take full responsibility for feeling good. And if you are finding that hard by yourself, if you're finding it hard to change your state, to think a better feeling thought, or to go and do things that excite you and make plans that fill you up and fill up your cup, if you're still feeling low, then for goodness sake, please resolve the root cause of your suffering by booking in with a fully qualified clinical hypnotherapist. If not me, then someone else you vibe with. But please do it for yourself. Ending your suffering so you can confidently and joyfully step into your best and highest life is the very best present you can gift yourself. This step is all about realizing that we have the power and the responsibility to be accountable for how we're feeling. And if we notice that something is off, then we do have the resources and the path available to us to change that. Seek the help you want is there. And when we go and seek it, when we give it up to the universe, like, I just don't know what to do, but I know that I need help. This is not working. I'm not feeling good and I want to feel better. Show me the way. And the teacher will always present itself to you 100%. You just have to be willing to be open to change. So why do I recommend clinical hypnotherapy? Well, because it is the most effective, fastest method of therapy that I've ever encountered in my life. I mean, the unbelievable transformation that happens when you are under the guidance of a skilled clinical hypnotherapist is unbelievable. I recommend just 4 to 8 sessions to work on any major issue for real lasting change. It has the power to transform you from where you are now to where you want to be and just clean up all that mess and all the blocking, limiting beliefs that are in the way, whether they're conscious or unconscious, just so that you can go forward with confidence and joy and really step into the life you truly want to live. If you think you'd like to work with me, at the moment I have a package offer available. Visit my website www.herloveupgrade.com/bookings and scroll down to the package offer booking calendar today to get the benefit of that. Sending you so much love, and I hope this episode brings you closer to the love and life you're meant for. If you have taken something away from this episode today, please, right now, would you mind taking a moment to leave me either a rating on Spotify or a written review on Apple Podcasts? It is the podcast equivalent of giving me a hug. And honestly, every review lights me up and fills me with so much gratitude for you, for listening and doing this courageous work that essentially makes the world a lovelier place to live in for all of us. Sending you lots of love until next time. Take care. Bye. You should be so proud of this courageous, incredible journey you are on. And I'm so happy to be here supporting you to say goodbye to toxic relationships and claim the wonderful life and love you truly deserve. If you have a friend who you think needs to hear today's episode too, why not spread the love and share it with them? Sending you so much love in abundance. Until next time.